guys, welcome to Dide's Crafty Corner. Happy Saturday! Today's my fun day. I get to sit down and craft for as long as I want to today, and that makes me very, very happy. So no babies today. Husband's playing golf, and I thought I would come on and play. So I've already started this process just to speed it up, but I wanted to share with you a card that I'm putting together. Now this card is completely fall inspired, and that's because I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday. As you guys know, it's my very favorite place to go just to relax. I don't even shop half the time. I just go because I love the atmosphere. I love the peacefulness, and I love how beautiful my store is. And believe me guys, my store is gorgeous. So I ran in real quick, and actually yesterday I went in to get a Copic marker to add to my collection. And I believe I got B97, in case you're interested. I didn't have that one yet, and it's a little bit darker than the other blues that I had, so I wanted to add that to the realm of my blue colors. So I went in and grabbed that real quick. And the entire half of the store, the front half of the store, was decorated for fall. Not Halloween, fall. Just straight up fall. Everything fall. And I was like, seriously, it's not even July. We're already decorating for fall. So my brain started moving already. It was like, wow, I want to do this, and I had all these things in my head. I had put a piece of pattern paper aside from the Scrapping from Less kit that I received a couple of months ago that I knew I was going to be using for a fall themed card. I just loved it, and I'll show that to you in a second. And I had just picked up these dies, and I was so busy yesterday, guys. I couldn't even play with these yesterday. So busy yesterday, but I knew today I would. So I used, if I can get them picked up, hold on, guys. I used these. These are the Fancy Rectangles and Layers from LDRS Creative, which I thought I had never heard of before, but it turns out I do know this company. I just didn't know them by that name, right? I'd actually been looking at a couple of the stamps that they make, the female images that they had before, so I do know who they are. I just didn't recognize them by, you know, they're little darlings is who they are, in case you don't know who they are. I think I'm probably the only one on the planet that didn't know that, but that's okay. So I cut out a frame and I cut out a panel from this, and that's what we're going to be using for our card today. And I'm super excited to get started. So this is what I used. If you did not see my first video on this, I believe as of yesterday these were still available. They are $2 and change, guys. They're $2 and change, and they're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So go grab you some if you haven't already. You will not be sorry you did. They're very high quality too. And can I just say, they're beautiful. Did I already say that? They're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. Okay, I already said that. So I took a leaf die and I put it on my block, right? I believe this is a Bow Bunny leaf die. I just wanted one that had the veins in the leaf because that mattered to me for this project. So I took a couple and I stamped them out on off-white cardstock, 110-pound off-white cardstock. It didn't have to be off-white. I just kind of wanted it to already have that off-white. And then I fussy cut it out, just like that. Okay, so that's what we went with. Fussy cut it out, and then I went ahead and I just smushed on some colors. So for my colors, I used all shades of browns. They're all regular Distress inks, so it's just the normal colors. This is peeled paint. This is a little bit of orange and barn door mixed together. This is a little gold and brown mixed together. So I just kind of mixed mine together to get the colors I wanted. And then from there, I didn't get very specific. So all I really did is I took the color that I wanted, and I picked the side that I wanted the color on. So like over here, I added my green. And it didn't matter whether it was really dark or light for this, because I did come back in later and I intensed it after I got it, after I wet it down. I wanted this to look very distressed and weathered and a little bit beat up. So then I took my gold color, added it right on top. And then I took my brown and I came back in and added some brown on top of that. And then I got my brown, and in my case, I'm using a Stampin' Up! Brown around the edges. You could use Distress ink. Stampin' Up! Ink is water-based as well. So you could use your Distress inks. It just so happened I like this color. And then I just darkened up everything really well all the way around the edges, front and back. Gave it a really dark kind of edge all around it. And one of the things I was trying to do while I was doing this was to beat up my paper a little bit, to really distress the paper so that it would look more like a leaf and less like a die cut, right? Even though I hand cut this, it kind of looks like a die cut, right? And when you go into nature in fall, you're going to see all different colored leaves. You're going to see browns, reds, greens, purples, oranges, and they're all, but the one common factor they're all going to have is they're all going to have a little bit of brown on them. Just about, almost all of them. So then I did that. I came back in, made it a little bit darker, made it a little more lighter in areas, and I would dip into my paint and dip into my distress as needed to make it a little bit darker. And then once I did that, and I made sure that my brown, that it was all brown around the edges, I took some water. Hold on, I'm going to need something to wipe the water off with. I took some water. I'm going to use a baby wipe because I don't have a towel. I took some water and I just kind of spritzed it. That does two things. It breaks up the fibers of the paper, mixes the colors, it changes the colors, it lightens the colors. And see how the veins are showing now? It's still going to show through that. And then I wiped it up. I let it dry completely because now it's wet. I let it dry, and then I just added the colors back on it again. Same way, and then I let that dry. And then I ended up with something that looked like this. Pretty much the same, right? Only it looks a little more weather beaten. All right, and then I added some Wink of Stella. I added some clear Nuvo drops to it to make it look like it was, you know, got some dewdrops on it. And you could even put glossy accents over this whole leaf if you wanted to. It would make it brighter and more vibrant. Look how well that one's turning out. That one's super cool already. Super, super cool. When it dries, the veins are going to get a little bit lighter, like in this one, but that's what I liked about it. You could see the veins and see how the paper is just weathered now. It's really beat up a little bit. That's what I was looking for. So now these are already dry. They're ready to go on our card. I just wanted to show you how I did it without, you know, this video being 100 years long. Okay. All right, let's put that back in my little thing. All right. So we're going to put away the ink now. I'm going to let that dry, and I'll be using this one on something else. That's my biggest thing, is I don't like to waste. If I do something, I want to use it, but I'm not going to use it for today's project. So for today's project, we're going to be starting with a piece of off-white, beigey color, 110-pound cardstock, very, very thick. It is cut, it's an A2 top folding this way, right? I normally do my cards the other way. So we're going to start with that. I'm going to be using a piece of stale blue or gray blue, if you will, cardstock to put on the top of it to give us some color. And this color is inspired by that piece of paper. We'll get to that in a minute. And again, these are colors I never would have thought to use together. So that's pretty amazing. I am using my art glitter glue today instead of my Nuvo that I've been using. Just because I wanted to, no other reason. I've been trying out the Nuvo glue, and I do like the Nuvo glue, but my first love is still art glitter. It works for everything, and I just happen to love it. Okay, so we're going to put that on our card base. I did not leave a white edge or an off-white edge at all. I'm going to be using my Teflon bone folder for this because it doesn't leave any shiny marks. It doesn't. No glue, no glitter, no muck, no nothing sticks to it. It's just a nice, easy, slick, hard surface for me to adhere and press onto. All right, so now we got that. Now here is the piece of paper I've been hoarding. Isn't it beautiful? It's got these little light olive kind of the same color green that's in here. Pine twigs, is that what you call them? It's got pine cones, it's got a nice cranberry flower and a nice orangey brown flower. It's just so pretty. So I've edged it with the same color brown, not too much, just a little bit, just went around the edges, just to give it a little bit of an aged look and in the corners, because this card kind of reminded me of I don't know, of an old picture hanging up on a wall, I guess. And I knew when I had this paper, when I got this paper in that kit, that I was going to do something like that with it. So I've just distressed the edges. That's something I don't always do because I'm a clean and simple kind of girl. But for this card, I really wanted to do it. So this paper is cut just a little bit shorter than the other piece that we put on our envelope, or in our envelope. Do you guys know that I sat down and counted all the mistakes I make in these videos the other day? I don't know if it's old age or what, or just because there's so much going on the last few months, but I'm making a ton of mistakes. So guys, bear with me. I'm going to try to be more cautious. You guys know this is not an envelope, it is a card, right? So see, we've got just a little bit of blue showing all the way through, and look how well it showcases this blue. Just beautiful. That color blue in there is what sparked me to use blue in this background. But I wanted to use an older toned blue, not like a teal or an ocean. I wanted it to look a little more vintagey. So that's why I chose that color. Super pretty already, right? So now we've got that. All right, so then I cut out my base. So this one is the largest of this fancy rectangle die. And then I cut out a frame using both of these together. And I did that in the off-white cardstock that we're using. And then I went around it with the brown and distressed it to kind of look just like our little background right there, right? So that looks awesome. I did cut out a blue one as well that to give it a little more, you know, to make it a little harder, stiffer, if you will. And then I added some tape on the back. So that's, we're going to be adding dimension with this to here. We've added dimension with these little foam dots that I'm trying to use up. I don't know where I got them. If you know where I got them, let me know. I don't remember, but we're going to be using those. To pop this up, this is going to be popped up and our leaves are popped up a little bit. All right. So let's go ahead and get this adhered. I'm not going to put a cinnamon. I'm not going to put a sentiment on this card today, only because it's not really fall yet. And I'm not sure who I'm going to give it to yet. So I would like to leave it blank, but it may be, you know, I could do anything. Happy fall, y'all, or falling for you, or almost anything I could put on there. It just depends on who I'm going to give it to come fall. And I do send out seasonal cards, so... All right, so now we're going to be putting this on here. And remember, we're card makers. These are handmade cards. So we're not looking for perfect, right? We're just looking for it to be good, for it to look nice. So don't stress over it. That's what I'm trying to say. When I was first making cards, I stressed over everything not being exactly perfect and my words not being exactly perfect, or anything, you know, having ink on my fingers, or, you know, and I just don't do that anymore. I just don't. It's like these are imperfectly perfect made cards, because every single card that you make is perfect because you made it that way. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and add our frame. And I've used that Darcy skinny tape for this because I thought it would be very easy to go around. I could have cut a piece of fun foam and out of the same frame while I had it taped together, and it would have looked a little bit too big. It would have, when you put fun foam through your die cutter, it compresses it, it pushes it out, so it flattens it out. But if you just walk away from it and leave it alone for a few hours, it's going to go back to its regular size, and then you can use it. It's a pretty cool thing, fun foam, especially if you're buying a good quality fun foam or white foam. But for this, I had these already, so I just used them. And I'm actually looking forward to having this card in my collection to give out in fall. It's nice to have them already pre-made, right? I think so. I think so. So yesterday, my daughters and I all went out to lunch. That was nice. It's something that doesn't happen very often. Tomorrow is my oldest daughter's birthday, and can you believe she's going to be 39? 39 years old. I don't even believe in my mind I'm 39. Just saying, guys. All right, so now I just want to make sure this is lining up correctly. That there's not it looks good, right? So I'm not going to push it down. I'm just going to lay it down. Turn it around and make sure. Nope, it looks good to me. All right. All right, isn't that pretty? Look at the dimension. Pretty colors, right? And like I said, these are not colors that I would have thought to put together until I saw this piece of paper. Okay, ready? So I'm going to be putting my leaves. All this is going to have on it, the leaves, like I said, they're finished. They have a little piece of white foam on the back. I used different foams in different areas because they were different dimension, different thicknesses. It just made it easy. So I've already gone in and distressed these little tibs a little bit of the leaves just to make sure that they're kind of turned over and looked frayed. I don't want it to look like it was just cut out of a die. And then this is going to be going kind of in the middle. That looks good to me. And then this one's going to come over here. And this one's going to come over here. Just like that. Alright, so this one's going to come. I'm going to have this one maybe right there hanging off of our frame. Or do I want these to be straight? Final answer. Okay. This is the first time I've put the little dewdrop or the Nuvo drops in clear to make it look like dewdrops on my leaves. I'm not sure I actually like that, but we're going with it this time. All right, pretty. Super pretty. And then I thought I really wanted to add like a gold bow to this because of its kind of vintagey and older looking. So I might actually add that bow, but I'm gonna wait until we get further into fall and see what I'm gonna do for a sentiment. So that is my card, and I can tell you by looking at it, it is not at all straight right here. We did go uphill a little bit, and you know, I'm okay with that because like I said, this is a handmade card. The person that gets this card, I guarantee you, is not going to notice. They're just not going to notice that it's not. And there are different ways that you can camouflage that a little bit as well. You could add your bow up here, draw attention away from it. There are so many things that you can do to camouflage that, so keep that in mind as well. But isn't that super pretty? Super cute. I love that color combination. And I love, love, love this die set. So tell me, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this color combo? What's your thoughts on it? Zoom you in. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. All right, guys, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.